Chaga mushroom is located at 45 degrees north latitude, where the weather is very cold. It's mainly parasitic on birch trees, and it's the only one that's like trees. It's a hard mushroom. In fact, chaga mushrooms have a nutritional concentration among mushrooms that grow in trees, be known to be the highest. Chaga mushrooms are gift of God and immortal mushrooms in Siberia. In Japan, it is called diamond in the forest. In China, it is called king of plants. Chaga mushrooms have spores riding in the wind and stick to wounds on the bark of birch trees. It grows on its own and takes root inside the tree and absorbs birch sap. It grows for 10 to 20 years, and the bigger one is weighing up to 5 kilograms. The color of the chaga mushroom is very black due to its own melanin. This is a way to protect against the strong ultraviolet rays of the Arctic. And it grows in extreme climates. The more chaga mushrooms, the darker and more glossy they are. The birch tree parasitic on chaga mushrooms is weakened by gradually picking nutrients. But it is a strong wind. If it is broken by heavy snow, it will die. Chaga mushrooms, which were only used in Russia due to the former Soviet Union's fetching policy, are known around the world. Novels by former Soviet dissident writer Alexandro Solzhenitsyn, who won the Nobel Prize in Literature. It was because of the cancer ward. The cancer ward, announced in 1968, was a situation where Solzhenitsyn himself was forcibly deported to Kazakhstan in the late 1950s. He was diagnosed with end-stage stomach cancer and was admitted to a cancer treatment hospital in Tashkent, the capital of Uzbekistan. It is based on a true story of successful treatment of cancer using it. The fact that humans have been using chaga mushrooms for therapeutic purposes for a long time was in 1991. A 5,300-year-old mummy found in the Alps. Chaga mushrooms have been proven by the discovery of them in a small pocket. Chaga mushrooms have been handed down as a secret medicine since the 16th century in Russia. As a terminally ill disease. 1951 full-scale research at the Soviet Academy of Sciences Komarov Institute of Science. Started. Dr. Komarov studied the biological and pharmacological effects of chaga mushrooms. After years of clinical trials in cooperation with Leningrad First Hospital, the results were published. The Pharmacology Committee of the Ministry of Health of the Soviet Union based its findings on November 26, 1955. It has officially announced that chaga mushrooms can be used to treat cancer and diabetes. The following report was submitted to the academic community after the clinical results were completed. Mainly in Poland in 1957. According to intravenous injections of chaga mushroom extract into 48 patients with stage 3 and 4 malignancies. Amazing effect was discovered in 10 patients with reduced tumor size. Pain was reduced, blood continued to stop, sleep quality improved. I saw improvements in my appetite. And I saw a definite effect on improving ovarian and breast cancer in women. It has been confirmed that there is. It was published in 1994 by a research team from the Lugansk Medical University in Russia. If you look at the oncology medicinal plant therapy data, the ingredients in chaga mushrooms restore lowered immunity. It activates the central nervous system, the neurohormone system, the metabolism system, and it also helps to treat end-stage leukemia tumors. It's working. In Japan, full-scale research on chaga mushrooms has begun, and a team of honorary professors from Shizuoka University, Mizuno, has begun. 1996. Anti-tumor activity and glycemic lowering action of chaga mushroom polysaccharide. It shows that chaga mushrooms are effective not only for anti-cancer, but also for lowering tongue sugar and treating digestive system diseases. Made an announcement. In Russia, it has long been applied to the treatment and prevention of gastrointestinal and gastrointestinal cancers. In particular, it shows excellent efficacy in treating inflammation of the digestive system. Residents of Kamchatka usually boil chaga mushrooms for tea. So not only stomach cancer. It is said that it is difficult to find a patient with gastrointestinal disease. Like ginseng, chaga mushrooms are considered top products to grow in cold regions. For this reason, chaga mushrooms have been mainly used in Russia, a cold region. Recently, however, pollution problems and the use of preservatives in the distribution process have been discussed. Canadian and Alaska are starting to gain attention. The cultivated chaga mushrooms are easy to perish, so in the case of Russian or Chinese products, some products are sprayed with preservatives. It was caught before, and since then, many mushroom experts have turned to winter lows of 20 to 30 degrees Celsius. Goes down, grow up in a clean area near the northern limit line, out of reach of people. It also began to recommend Canadian chaga mushrooms, which have a transparent distribution path. In fact, Canadian chaga mushrooms not only have a very high concentration of betulinic acid, which is a representative anti-tumor ingredient, the area where the growth is close to the Arctic Circle, so the ultraviolet level is very high, so it is a very high antioxidant. It has excellent melanin content. For your information, when looking at the list of many research results, if you can see the effect by using chaga mushrooms, if you have an autoimmune disease such as atopic dermatitis or rheumatism, you suffer from chronic fatigue, a person who is under a lot of stress, a person who has various cancers, a person who is worried about getting cancer, and diabetes, high blood pressure, and all kinds of adult diseases. Chaga mushroom is a food, not a drug, so there is no limit to the intake, but the Myeonghyun reaction is. It can come out, so if you're a person with weak physical strength or an elderly person, you can start with a small amount and gradually, it would be wise to increase the amount.